I feel like I'm getting to know you Scorpios better and tune into you more. And I think the other thing that I'm realising about you from reading your comments on previous videos, and this is your reading for May 2025, is that you can take a good blow to the head spiritually. Okay? I've been watching a lot of Australian maths. It's a lot. And Scorpio can literally go where other signs don't go. You can take the nitty-gritty that needs to be spoken about. And the other thing I found before this reading is that my ears were quite blocked. And then it came to me, what can't you hear? What's stopping you from hearing? And I don't know if this is because there is something from the outside that you literally need to know or hear, or whether it's what's stopping you from hearing anything that you need to know or hear. Okay, there's a difference. So I'm going to take a card on that. I'm going to take a couple of cards from a very gothic deck that I've got, because I feel like you can take that and also need that. Oh my God, that's so weird. And then I may use a very bubblegummy deck to go with it. Okay, but we will see. I'm going to be guided by you. Now, of course you get this card. First card we get for you about this thing about not being able to hear, or what do you need to hear, is the galactic mushroom. I know, you're like, Gemma, that was 1965. I know, I thought nobody would ever catch up with me, or nobody would ever know about it. The divine matrix is underneath it, okay? For me, and I will have a look in the book, but for me, this is complex, as in what you need to know and what you cannot hear are two things, and the matrix is what is in the middle. I know, you're only going to stay with me on this one if you've got it going on in the kind of spiritual department, but a lot of you have, okay? So I'm thinking of the matrix, and if I were to visualize it, and this is really weird because I'm not into sewing. My mum and my sister are into sewing, and sometimes, and they use it on cuts sometimes as well. You can get this repair-y stuff, and it's like, you know, a plaster. If you put a plaster on, you know, if there was a webbing but there wasn't the actual plaster bit, and it's called magic web or something like that, and you can put it on clothes and there's still got the stretch, but it holds them together. That's the matrix, okay? I know, you're thinking she's finally lost the plot. It says here, you might have been thinking and acting like you're the only one in the dream creating your life. We're going in. The galactic mushroom arrives at a potent reminder that you need to get with your higher power, okay? And Scorpio, I would go further than this and say, yes, you have your higher power, but as above, so below for Scorpio, because you have the lower power too, and it's not inferior to the higher power, and you are the sign that knows that. Channel message. Woof. I'm loving that. I am loving that. As above, so below, which of course is a magician, so we'll see if that card comes up as well. Okay, I'm scratching my head. I'm into it. So, you know that what we would consider the base, the lower power, going down into the dungeon, down into the sewers, whatever we would call it, is where the actual magic is. And actually it is, because a lot goes on down there, biologically, apart from spiritually. The matrix of consciousness, source, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, intricately woven into life. Magic weave. Not just a dodgy haircut. So much complexity that the human mind can't comprehend in its moving parts. Okay? It's impossible to see beyond what you already know. Okay? In other words, you see the head of the mushroom, but there's like all this weird rizzoli. Have you ever looked at what goes on to create a mushroom? Mushroom, the head is like a fruiting body. I hope you're not eating. And all kinds of fronds of whatnot have to go along before you get this fruiting body. Stay with me, we are going somewhere. The thread-like mycelium, see, she gives it the real name, of fungi form vast intricate networks underground, connecting different light forms. I must turn my thing off. Okay. Connecting different light forms with one another in a kind of internet. Yes. Imagine the divine matrix in the same way. Galactic mushroom. I mean, I don't like the look of this, to be honest, but I like the message. Reminds you, Scorpio, your dreams and desires are heard. This is a call for faith and trust. Whatever intention you hold consistently first manifests in the unseen realm. Whether or not you can see it working on your behalf, eventually you see the evidence play out in the serendipitous events that work in your favour, seemingly outside the law of cause and effect. I did a 10-minute meditation before I even started your reading, and I'm so glad that I did, because I'm going to need another one afterwards. Yeah, I'm a Pisces. I'm a water sign. I'm with you down there, but I haven't got the stamina that Scorpio has. Right. Let's go in with Gothic Dawn. Don't do this for any other sign with Gothic Dawn, because I don't even know why I want to do it with you, but let's see what we have to see. What do we need to hear? What do we need to know? What do we need to maybe see or conceive, feel, whatever word you want to give it, universe? Okay, let me just put these other cards here so I've got room on the table. Scorpio, your readings fascinate me. What do we need to know, please? Tell us in these few cards if you can. Oh, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do, Scorp. Yeah, and you as well, eh? Okay. Oh, cripes. And you. And you. Gosh. The bottom of the deck is the Hermit. What a gorgeous Hermit card that is. Okay, so the Hermit is you. Forget all the stuff about the Hermit being Virgo and all that. You know, it has Virgo associations, but quite honestly, not in this reading. Bit of sneers on my table. Here you are discovering truths, secrets, but it's a very covert kind of an operation. You are, I would say at the moment, deep in the midst of a situation which you may or may not be aware of. Okay? And very often, and I'm now getting channeled, if you are a tortoise, you cannot see your own shell. And I guess that's interesting because in the Wild Unknown Tarot, the Hermit is a tortoise. Exactly. And they have the shell and the light is on top of the shell so that the tortoise or tortoise, tortoise, I don't know, I'm terrible with animals, but you get what I mean. Can't see it, but the light is necessarily there. Okay? Kaboom. Now, this is important because I think we've got full moon in your sign this May. Yes, we have, on the 12th. Very important. Full moon is there, and I just needed to know. And what happens when we get to the full moon for you, and this could be in any area of your life. Ears are still blocked. You know, it could be playing out in all areas of your life. We will do a love reading. We're going to have a look underneath all of these. In the second half of this reading, I'll do a love reading. So it could be in that part of your life, or it could be in this part, or it could be in both of those parts. There will be an extended love reading as well, as there is every month. So if you want that, that's the first link in the description box when we get to it. But The full moon in Scorpio takes the inner world and the outer world and it blows them both open. This could be in the form of the revelation of a secret. It could be something as boundaried as that, you know, where it's just you knew there was something you needed to know from somebody at work or in a relationship or whatever, and you get to know that thing. Or it could come in a much more subtle way, that you have like a spiritual paradigm shift. Love me a paradigm shift. And you see everything differently. But the full moon needed to happen to kickstart the flow and the merging of the two worlds, of the unknown and the known, and the inside and the outside, and the dark and the light. I'm loving this. Okay. The next card to it, the Six of Wands. I love this. Scorpios don't necessarily always need to win. You're not that simple. If it was as easy as needing to win, you'd all go and do what you needed to do to win. Because Scorpios can read the room, you know what it takes to win and you'll do it, but it's not enough for you just to win. The win in itself is not enough. You want the alignment, you want the truth, you want the clarity. You want to know. You can still win and not know. And you're a water sign. You still have that dissolution of ego that water signs have. So a win in and of itself is not enough. The trophy's not enough. It's meaningless. And everybody knows as well, if you go for the win when you get there, I don't know, you think, is this it? So your Six of Wands is more of a triumph of process rather than a triumph of winning. Two of Swords. Two of Swords is a really interesting card because you have two Aces of Swords, equal and opposite reactions. Unstoppable force meets the immovable object. It's more of a new moon card. So you got your Scorpio full moon on the 12th to think about, and then about 2 weeks later there will be a new moon. Will it be in Taurus? I don't know. Gemini. Ooh, I love a new moon in Gemini. Right. 27th of May is the next date you need to know about, where we have a Gemini new moon, okay, which is talkative, revelatory. But the revelation really happens in the Scorpio full moon. The communication of what you've learned or know or how you've joined up these dots comes out in the new moon at the end of the month, 27th. Which is how it should be, because this is not a quick process. And the Two of Swords is a new moon card, but it also shows the blindfold should be there. You're not supposed to be able to see it yet. You haven't built the answer. And then, interestingly, you get the Ace of Swords. When you get the answer, it will be singular, not double and dual, singular and pure. Okay? And you get the Eight of Wands, which is conversations, talkings, messages, emails, texts, however it happens. It can also be telepathy, you know, more underground type communication, very Scorpionic. But, and I'll show you the cards here because I'm going to do the love reading underneath. That one's just our galactic mushroom. Not words I thought I'd be saying today, but you know, them's the cards. If you look here, you are seeking all of these things. You're the Hermit. The Six of Wands is embracing you. But you know mystery is good. Blindfold is good. Not knowing is good for a while. Until you get that full moon where you'll see the light. Excuse me. You'll see the light. And the Ace of Swords where you'll get a clear answer. And then want to communicate. Love cards. Thought I was going to use some bubblegum ones for you. Maybe I'll use them in the extended reading because I'm going hot and heavy on the love with the Scarlet Rose. Because it's kind of scorpionic as well. It's quite a daring love deck. Okay. Where are we at with love and relationships? Please. I want to take a card that goes on the end of here that joins the rest. And this card feels weird and I don't know why. Ooh. Page of Cups, which is nice actually because it's a beginning. Page of Cups is a beginning card. It's also a card of the apology. It's a card of somebody... I don't know how specific it is, but it's a card of newness, beginning, tiny starts. You know, if you looked at it like a conversation, this would be where you make the appointment to speak to somebody, or the text where they got in touch with you. It's not the conversation itself, but it's the willingness and the idea that something, you want to offer something, or somebody wants to offer something to you. For some reason, I feel like it's not as simple as that. You're like, of course it isn't. We then get the Queen of Swords. Okay. Let's put her here. I often associate the Queen of Swords with Scorpio because Scorpio often is very good at boundaries, which for a water sign, you're the only one that is. Also, the Queen has the sword from this knowledge here. And now she's going to use it. So you are going to take your answer or what you know and the clarity and what you've become aware of. And you're going to direct it. And in some way, Scorpio, when it comes to your love life, you're going to be directing events. I sort of see this almost as the sword is like you're a conductor. And you can conduct the event. Oh, this is going to really annoy you. The Hanged Man energy comes in. It's very strong Neptunian energy when you get the Hanged Man. Let's just go in a little bit more. There's all this clarity, but if you think of the universe wants to soften everything for you, to give you almost like the universe wants to take you out and put you on hold somewhere. That's what the Hanged Man does. It's not nothing is happening. In fact, the Hanged Man, everything is happening. But you're on hold. You're kind of out of it a bit. Out of the immediacy of a situation somehow. Either voluntarily because you put yourself there. Let's just get these so we can see them. Or through happenstance where the universe makes it happen that way. Okay? This may, in the 3D, be frustrating. But in the 5D, it's incredibly valuable to you. Knight of Pentacles comes along just to say to you, there is a need to keep this slow and steady. It's almost like that Knight of Pentacles comes as a reminder for this. There's a reason that things are not fast. They shouldn't be. It wouldn't benefit you. Okay? That card just literally flipped up on its own, 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is a very pentacly card, of course, but it's also the epoch, it's the ending, and it's different to the 10 of Cups because it's very real when you have this 10 of Pentacles. It's what I call the meat and potatoes love card. Wet tights on the radiator, you know, let's look at our finances. You know, I'm talking really sort of low-key, we made it, but we did the work and we did it gradually and we made sure it was real. And we got a real, in inverted commas, happy ending. Okay, gosh. 3 of Swords. And this is for you and anyone else you're involved with. You're in a season of confronting your demons. Now, Scorpio can always see the sense in confronting their demons, and in some ways it's part of your everyday existence. But, and this is going to be really weird, but God, it's like you're taking me over, Scorpio, when I do your readings. Okay, I can barely say this because it's channeled, but I'm going to give it a go. Right, instead of doing what most people do, where you think, I need to confront my demons about relationships, about love, about attachment, whatever it is, I'm going to go down into the cave or into the dungeon, into the basement, whatever, and confront the demons and come back up to the light. You remember the matrix in the middle, and you've got the dark and the light, and you've got the good and the bad and all the things I said at the beginning. When I'm channeling, it's like it kind of is invisible ink. God, so weird, Scorpio. What do you do to my head? What you're doing for the demons is you're finding the join between your two worlds, which is keeping the two things separate, and you're dissolving it. Okay? And whoever it is you're thinking of in terms of relationship is a part of that process for you. Oh, I like that you got that. Queen of Wands. Okay. And the Knight of Cups. That's very interesting indeed. Look. We start your love reading with the Page of Cups. And we end it with the Knight of Cups. So the Page has leveled up. There's been a leveling up. But this is not easy. This is not someone's coming around with a bunch of flowers because they've leveled up. In the 3D, that might be how it comes up, but that is not enough. This is something's leveled up because you've taken the unreal and the real and you've blended them by dissolving the join. Okay? It's really hard for me to get my head around. But this 10 of Pentacles in the middle is where fantasy and reality find their mid-ground. So it's not just like, oh, you're living in fantasy land, so you need to rein it in and get real. It's, you need to find the mid-ground without dividing it into two. Please leave some comments. And for God's sake, share this video with other Scorpios, because this is really important and it's blowing my mind, and I want you to to unpack it with me in the comments, please. Go for it. I mean, don't hold back. Get right into, you know, the depths and whack it in the comments, because it's really, really important. It's almost like, as well, something's being turned inside out, and it needed to be turned inside out. It couldn't just be cleaned or pushed to one side. It needs to be turned inside out. That Queen of Wands, I just want to take one of these Gothic cards, because occasionally the Queen of Wands comes up as a third party or a competition to the relationship, which can be a competition of a person or a thing or time. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, we got the 10 of Cups coming up. God, that's gorgeous, to be honest. Okay. There is some element of something with the Queen of Wands that is competition, but you have this driving force with the 10 of Cups, which is Mars in Pisces, so it is a heck of a driving force. You also have it with the 10 of Pentacles, which is very, very strong. Whatever the competition, don't pay attention to it, or the interference or whatever it is. Don't pay attention to it. Pay attention to dissolving that line down the middle so that you're fully integrated as a person yourself and as a couple, whatever that looks like in your relationships. I'm going to go, bloody hell, that was, there you go, you got me swearing. I'm going to go and do the extended reading where we will look further at your love reading and probably dip in a bit to your other reading as well, because the whole thing seems to be, there's a thread, isn't there? And I'm going to look at the other person, what's going on, what don't we know, what can we know, how do they feel, all of that stuff. But we're also just going to do some weird channeling, because that's just where we're at. I know. Giddy up, let's go. I'll see you on the other side. It's the first link in the description box. Namaste, Scorpio. Don't go change him.